This girl made a podcast. I want to let you guys know that when this meme first started coming out and people started typing it, I had a policy that if anybody typed those words out, I would instantaneously permaban them.
Hot to.
You gotta put like an emphasis on it, like to. You know, like really. Yeah. Say it. All right, all together.
Hot to.
Hot to.
Wow, listening to this is a wonderful use of my day. Now, I've seen a lot of pointless podcasts that did not need to exist in my time. Like just a few weeks ago,
It's crazy how much this girl's farmed that. Like it really is. Like I mean, as somebody who's a bit of a farmer themselves, I've got to have some respect on it. It is. It's really impressive.
we looked at that podcast that I can't even remember the name of off the top of my head. I think it was called like the Empowered Podcast or something.
When you come back, when you come back from work, you're tired, bro. You just want to go to bed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't wait for holiday.
Sometimes I'm in bed and I'm like, bro, I need to brush my teeth.
And that was pointless. But this just takes it to a whole new level. For those somehow unfamiliar with the hilarious viral sensation of Huck Tuah, this is Haley Welch. And she went viral.
I don't have, like, I mean, there's always going to be, like, I mean, in any podcast, you can find, like, a 10-second clip of completely pointless conversation. I think so. But, yeah.
A few months back for her response to an on-the-street interview by a channel called Tim and DTV.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that Huck Tuah and spit on that thing. You get me?
Funniest shit I ever seen in my life. Incredible.
So, you want to know the funny thing about this? That's the first time I've ever seen it. I saw the meme, I saw a picture of it, but I never watched the video or listened to it. That's legitimately the first time I've ever seen it. I mean, I didn't think, I thought I could just take their word for it that that's what she said. How do you feel? About the same. Yeah. It didn't really change. I'll tell you, it's not like, those YouTube videos I make. It didn't change my life.
Still makes me heartily belly laugh. And apparently the world did too, because she became very famous overnight for this. There was merch and everything. Let's have a look at some of it, because some of it is incredible.
Oh,
So we got the Huck Tuah 24, spit on that fang. Brilliant. I'd wear that to my wedding.
I wonder how much money she's made from this. That's what I'm really kind of curious. Yeah, I wonder. A lot? Yeah, but like how much though, right? Obviously you can say a lot, but where's the number?
American flag Huck Tuah. Eat, sleep, Huck Tuah, repeat. Again, I would wear this to the birth of my first child. If she don't Huck Tuah, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk to her.
To be fair, that's clever. Like, I'm gonna be real, that one is clever.
Just grim. It's just grim for some reason. She's also been making bank from public appearances, apparently charging up to $30,000 per one. Well, that's my future child's first birthday party sorted. And I'll be stood there in the corner in my unofficial Huck Tuah merch. But something I've not seen anyone talk about is how weird the actual interview was.
Okay, I got another one for y'all.
Okay.
Would you rather? Hold on, is she listening?
Would you rather?
Would you rather have back shots for the rest of your life or missionary for the rest of your life?
Mate, what are we doing here? Going up to girls outside a bar?
Well, this is 100% content. Like, that's this content for 15-year-old guys. Like, you're making content like that. That's what 15, like 14, like, yeah, like teenage guys want to see, right? I mean, of course, like, he doesn't get it. I don't get it either because, like, we're grown-ass fucking men, right? But, like, as a, a teenager, yeah, for sure. That's what people want to see.
What's better, missionary or back shots? I'm not sure if this is like a normal thing to do in America, and I very much doubt it is. But if you did that in the UK, you get called a weird nonce and laughed at until you went away. And that isn't the only strange interview she's done. She did this one with Kate.
I think you would in the US too. It's just like, some people are some places.
KIS or KISS, I don't know how you pronounce that. An Australian radio station after she blew up, and it's fucking weird. I was trying to think.
Bro, you need to, bro. You need to stop. Like, you need to fucking stop, bro. Like you're getting tired. I don't want to read any of your messages for like the rest of the stream. Like, I don't want to see another message from this guy. Like this, like, yeah. What the fuck?
Of a more descriptive word
He's
for it,
13
but the best
now,
way I can describe it is just fucking weird.
They all know who you are for such a funny little thing. Do you really, Achtung, or were you just having a laugh there?
Bloody hell, man. Is that...
Jesus, man. Here's the reason why this stuff is real popular, right? The reason why is because, like, sex jokes and, like, conversations about sex is, like, I mean, really, that's, like, the lowest, you know, it's, like, lowest common denominator stuff, right? So a lot of people think it's really funny. You know, they're like, wow, big funny, right? Try and get it? Yeah, exactly. Like, Jesus, it's universal? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, really? The first question you have to ask this 21-year-old girl, do you actually huck Tuah? Man, come on, why are we doing this? Come on.
I was just having a laugh there.
So you're not a spitter?
Brother, come on now.
The follow-up question, the clarification. Well, that didn't answer my question.
Come on, surely you're better than this. He doesn't stop there. I think he catches himself being weird and, like, just stumbles over his words.
Yes or no? It's fit. No, it's fit.
What the fuck? But anyway, there was clearly
It's so weird. I'm sorry. It's so weird. Yeah.
a large demand for regular hour-long content with her. So she answered the prayers of the many and announced her podcast called Talk Tuah. It's like Huck Tuah, but you're talking to her. It's very clever wordplay.
It's clever. Yeah, it's clever. She probably didn't think of it, but it's clever.
I'm Haley Welch. A little while ago, my life took a complete left turn and it changed forever. And along the way, I've realized that everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
What does that even mean? Saying Huck Tuah gave you a new insight and perspective on life that made you realize that everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Did you not realize that before? What? I think she's just saying stuff for the intro. Fair enough.
Yeah, you gotta say something about it, right? I mean, what else are you gonna do?
You trying to say this? I realized that everybody's entitled to their own opinion. How did this make you realize?
Didn't this girl get fired from her job for some shit like this? Like, I don't really remember, like, whether that actually happened or not, but, like, I remember people trying to, like, figure out, like, where she lived and, like, all this shit. Yeah, it wasn't fake. I don't know. It was a rumor.
Is that?
Well, now,
So that's something what she was talking about? Yeah.
Check out my podcast every week, Talk Tuah, where I'm sitting down with the coolest guests and having actual conversations with them.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think also, like, one of the things that definitely carries is that she has, like, a pretty good accent and it makes her interesting. I think that's why people, like, pay attention to it.
Good and novel. There's not many podcasts out there where people get guests on and have actual conversations with them. There was really a gap in the market for that, I think. Now, this podcast is ran by Jake Paul's company, Better, which, as you might be able to guess, is a betting site. And Jake, little piece of advice for you here. Keep funding this podcast. It is a very wise and shrewd decision. And this will no doubt return you millions. Every week, people from...
people like this. Like... The thing is, Jake Paul knows all about the lowest common denominator. He not stupid.
All over the world will be waiting with gleeful anticipation for the next episode of Talk Tuah. Anyway, let's watch this episode because that's what this video is about.
Come on, Haley, it's not that bad. All right, it's time to get out of the bed and quit rotting. Haley, get up.
All right, I'm ready to talk.
Get in! Talk
is
Tuah, us, Haley. Do you get it? It's the name of the podcast. It kind of sounds like Huck Tuah, which is the phrase she said.
Really
Only
clever.
intellectuals will understand this.
And I want you guys to get to know me better than Hawk Tuah.
Ah, good thing you called your podcast Talk Tuah then, because people will surely forget about that with that sort of branding.
No, it's Tuah. Like, you really got to put your emphasis. Yeah, you're not saying Tuah, you're saying Tuah. You know? Like, you got to really...
I feel like... Who's played it out more? Her or Bethesda re-releasing Skyrim? What do you guys think? It's close, isn't it? Bethesda? Yeah, I'm sure she'll catch up.
Put your back into it. Tuah.
How fucking sick of saying that phrase do you think she is? Huck and Tuah have probably been half of the words she said in the past 3 months.
Say the line.
Haley.
Oh, God.
Hawk Tuah.
Now, this may come
Jesus
as a shock to you,
Christ.
but this podcast is It's kind of uneventful. I know. Who would have guessed that, eh?
Wow.
In fairness to her, her presenting ability isn't bad at all for someone who got thrown into this like 3 months ago, and this is her first ever podcast episode that she's hosting. And she seems a nice enough person, but there's not a lot of substance to the first episode, like, at all. There is really no reason for this podcast to exist. It just feels like someone's gone, she's quite popular. Let's just give her a podcast because it might do well. We might be able to get people onto our betting site. But one of the most interesting things to happen on this podcast is she kind of alludes to Jake Paul being a bit of a dick.
Jake's pretty wild.
He's a little spooky to talk to.
Really?
That's like a man, you know.
And what are you noticing in the difference between being a fan of someone from afar and then meeting them? Like, is it what you expected?
He was exactly what I expected. Like, he lets on like he's an asshole, and that's what I like about him. He owns up to that shit. He knows it.
That's kind of big in the first 4 minutes of your first podcast your boss is funding to just go, yeah, he's a bit of a shit. I respect it. I respect that massively. They then go on to talk...
to be fair, Jake Paul has made his career being the heel of the internet. I don't think that this actually bothered him. The moment that you think about the way that people act on the internet instead of being real people, and you think about them instead as characters or cartoon characters or wrestling, the moment that you can actually like just take a step back, I think Jake Paul's great. He's funny, he's entertaining, he does stupid stuff. It's engaging sometimes, you know? I got no problem about that. Because it doesn't matter.
About Botox for a bit, and it is astoundingly uninteresting.
I get a little myself. I call it Brotox when I do it. So when you start young, you're actually just getting rid of whatever wrinkles would pop up.
Well, yeah, but if you get all that shit done when you're young, by the time you're 27, you look like a lizard and you can't move your eyebrows. This is just big cope, in my opinion. Oh, yeah, I get Botox, but it's just like, it prevents, my face from moving.
Here's the thing. Number one, if you're a girl and you get Botox, number one, you're going to attract pedophiles.
What the fuck?
Damn, this bitch is crazy. Damn, she really... This on the first episode of the show, too, huh? It's the first episode she really wilded out like that? I didn't think that was the word she was going to say. I didn't think she was about to say that. That came out of nowhere to me, man. That escalated real quick. Yeah, what?
What are you even on about? If anything, I found that Botox makes people actually look older. They just look more smooth.
No, Botox makes people look 35 years old. It makes 55-year-old women look 35, and it makes 21-year-old women look 35. That's what it does. You could say maybe 45. Hey, it depends. 43, yeah. And yes, a 43-year-old lizard. He's right about that.
Really that out of things to say already that we're at the point of going, yeah, anyone attracted to someone with Botox is a massive pedo. What are you talking about? What does that even
Who does
mean?
that?
I feel like maybe this is a joke. I don't know. But it's not delivered like a joke.
But so that's something that is such a breath of fresh air about you.
It is. I agree. So I'm going to be real with y'all. I was never the biggest football fan. I honestly don't even get the rules that much. But what I do know is I like having fun and winning money. And Better Picks lets you win up to 1,000 times your money. The app is super easy and it makes it 1,000 times more fun.
10 minutes into the first ever episode and we're already getting an uncharismatic app.
So now you know why Jake Paul's okay with her doing that is because he's getting a cut of that money, man. It's like people are so into sports betting. Like gambling, guys. Gambling is the future. That's what the world runs now on gambling.
For a betting site. Yeah. Hell yeah. I wasn't familiar with your game, but the fact you're promoting such a service that allows people to make loads of money is very respectable. This will no doubt...
her whole audience is going to be billionaires.
Change lives for the better. We should be more thankful for
right?
betting sites and casinos, I think, because they're really out here just giving free money to people. It's so kind of them. They're basically charities.
Yeah. Just imagine if Chelsea said Hawk Tuah and not you that night. Would Chelsea be sitting in that chair?
Okay, now these are the big questions I came to this podcast for. If her mate said Huck Tuah instead of her, would she be the one sat in that chair? Would she be the one with the 30 grand public appearances? Would she be the one with the Huck Tuah merch? This is a...
No, because she's cute. Her friend wasn't that hot. Do I got to be the one to say it? Yep. That's just the way it is.
philosophical question that people will be asking and studying for centuries to come. It's the modern, if a tree falls and no one is there to hear it, did it really fall? If Haley Welch's friend said Tuah instead of her, would she be hosting the Talk to Her podcast instead?
I can't do it as good as Haley.
it.
You do it.
No, you do it.
Hot to.
You gotta put like an emphasis on it, like tuh. You know, like really. Yeah. Say it. All right, all together.
Hot to.
Hot tuh.
Hot to.
Say it aggressive, like
hot
really.
to.
Like you're
You know,
mad.
shit reminds me about a Pokemon, you know? How they always say, like, their own name.
At the day. You're mad at me.
Yeah.
Huck Tuah. Huck Tuah. Talk to a podcast. You have won the internet today.
Fuck.
I think.
Oh, you have won the internet today. God, 2010 was so fucking cringe, wasn't it? Oh my God. I forgot all about that. My life was so much better 20 seconds ago when I forgot that was a term. Fuck.
We need to like do I don't know, like a bar crawl where we get you drunk and try to get you a slogan.
I got something you can say.
This podcast is so dead. It's actually amazing. Like, it's just dead on arrival. They already have nothing interesting at all to say. And look, I don't blame Haley at all. She's just secure in the bag and riding this wave she's caught. And honestly, she is the best person on this podcast. Like, these two have said absolutely nothing of interest to anyone who has ever lived on Earth. And this person just annoys me. But to be completely fair, she does tell some stories of interest. Like, she talks about her ear getting bit off by a staffy, which is a pretty mental story. And she does carry the conversation. And she's the guest. So where does it go from here? Are the guests just going to be carrying every episode? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they do. Yeah, this is the way you do a show like this. Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually already really surprised that it's like this is like, because most internet memes kind of die out pretty fast. Like, that's it. But this is really, it's really gone on for a bit.
Said Haley is the best person on this podcast, but she acts more like a guest than the host. Do you know what I mean? Why am I analysing the Talk to a podcast this much? What am I doing? But the thing is, the podcast is just based off someone saying something that will make you giggle to yourself for like 1 second. I don't see how this lasts more than 10 episodes, and that's being generous. Like, what more is there to say after that?
I think that it all changed. There was a turning point on the internet when everything got worse. Harambe. That was it. That was the time that the unoriginal, unfunny, boring, I need a laugh track to tell me to know when to think something is funny, people finally got involved into memes. Harambe killed memes on the internet. Or not killed, but changed memes on the internet forever. Do you guys remember the old 4chan threads where somebody would post like a template image and then everybody would post their own text under the template image? Those were my favorite fucking threads because everybody was creative. People were trying new things. They were like, let's go ahead. It's a way to share experiences. It's a way to be funny, everything like that, right? I fucking love that. And Harambe was the beginning of there is no longer the individual person who changes the meme and makes it interesting in their own way. It is now that memes are Marco Polo. I say A, you say B. You know, like that's the way it works. It's just basically, yeah, right? And so that's what happens, right? And so nowadays, every meme has been, because people are dumb now, right? Everybody's dumb. Every meme is basically repeat the phrase that is funny. They're not transformative. They're not creative. They're not interesting anymore. It's just simply say the thing. And Harambe was the point where it all started to go downhill. That was it. It was the
If they have
beginning
a
of the
fan,
end.
that's better.
Do you remember that game I mentioned beforehand where you can win up to 1,000 times your money?
Ooh.
Well, turns out it gets even better. Better Picks is offering a deposit
1,000 times? Like, bro, like, slots has 2,000. Like, you play pachinko, you get a 2,000x. You telling me you want me to only make half as much money? I mean, if I invest $1,000...
match up to $200 and a free pick for all new users. So basically, if you put like $200 in, they match it. That's $400 right there.
What? That's free money.
$400.
Oh, that's so generous. I very much doubt there is any catch or downside to that. Tell you what, Jake Paul.
Yeah, all you have to do is sign up and they give you $200. That seems it's the easiest $200 of my life.
He's such a generous bloke, isn't he? Just giving away $200.
That's crazy.
Wow. God bless him.
Okay, maybe not.
Shit on that thing. That respect.
I'm not doing this anymore. Like and subscribe to That Fang. By That Fang, I mean this channel.
Yep. Harambe was the turning point, and it was the point where all internet memes began to get worse. And now every single internet meme is the lowest common denominator. It's boring, it's repetitive, there's no transformation that each person puts on it. It is just simply say the thing, do the thing, and that's it. Yep, there's a few outliers. Oh yeah, of course there's a few outliers, but in general, I think that's what's happened. One chick was Whitney Cummings, she's the dirty comic. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, in general. I don't know about every, but there's still some funny ones. I feel like the majority of memes are like that. I don't know, like, that maybe there's examples that aren't like that, but I think that's it. That's pretty much it. We need more innovation in memes. Yep, there we go. So demure. Well, that's just like, I mean, to be honest, like, that is annoying Instagram girls that learned a new word that they definitely are not. That's all. Yeah, like that is nothing like, yeah, it's nothing really crazy besides that. Meme needed to die, to be honest. No, I've definitely got to give this girl credit, right? I mean, the amount of farming that she's done on this is really, really impressive. Yeah, it is insanely fucking impressive. I like memes pertaining to the work I do. Yeah, exactly. And they don't even use the word correctly. I don't even know. AI is going to take over memes and will truly be over. I feel like AI would be better than now. Yeah, AI would be a lot better. She's super likable, and I like her because of her accent. Yeah, I feel like that's really why people like her. And this is probably the longest, like, one-liner meme that has had, like, the longest existence in the public space, you know? This is a good video, by the way. Yeah, there's the video. Give it a like. That's a good one. I've never watched this guy's videos. Me malicious. Yeah, I've never watched his videos before. That's completely true. I think he's right about fucking everything. Most retarded meme I could have ever witnessed? No, it's only so far. She become a millionaire overnight if she opens an OnlyFans? Yeah, I don't know about that. Like, I mean, I've always thought that it's kind of weird for guys to, like, try to push girls to do OnlyFans, etc. It's just, it's just me, right? I mean, you want to do it, you want to say it, that's fine. It's just not something I would do. But yeah. And Tuah is a national treasure. Y'all just too old. I'm just too old for it. Is that it? Yeah, there you go. And said she won't do OnlyFans, and good for her. Good for her. I don't know. It's not my it's not my problem. I'm not too worried about it either way, right? But yeah, it's still pretty fucking funny to see that.